So in this episode, I'll be creating mortises for the assembly of the upper and lower cabinets. Let's get started. So all that hard work has now gotten us to the exciting stage of assembly. To assemble this upper cabinet and the lower cabinet, we're going to be using the Domino DF500 loose mortising machine. We're also going to be using the 5mm tenons. I've taken the time and I've labeled absolutely everything I can possibly label, where my tenons are going to go. That way I don't make any mistakes. From there, it's just a matter of hooking it up to the dust extractor and making some mortises. If you want to see the Domino in action and learn more about it, we have plenty of other videos to check out. So with all the layout done, all the settings adjusted correctly, now it's just a matter of lining up the sight gauge and making a mortise. Just so that I have a better sight line, I'm going to move these marks from the edge up to the face of my back panel. So with the first side panel done, I can work on the back panel. To do that, I've added the support foot to give me a little more support when I'm doing mortises going straight down. So I've got all the mortises done there. I'm going to go ahead and dry fit this side. So now I'll do the exact same process on the other side. So you may have noticed that this cabinet is a little bit shorter than it started out to be. And that is because I cut about 10 inches off of it. As I'm going through the building process, I'm constantly thinking about how I can improve it. And I started to realize that transporting this cabinet all as one was going to be very difficult. So what my plan is now is I've separated the upper cabinet and the lower cabinet, and I'll attach part of that beadboard to the lower cabinet. Obviously, the rest of the upper cabinet's going to have the beadboard on it. And then I'm going to join these two pieces back together with our domino connectors. That way I can carry in the lower cabinet to this location, then carry in the upper cabinet, attach the two with the domino connectors and a couple screws through the back, and it'll be very secure. So because I'm joining this bottom to the top of the back panel with the domino connectors, I've gone ahead and changed the cutter to an 8mm cutter. Now I can go ahead and make my mortises. So now I'll just finish up the mortises on the bottom portion. So after I did a test fit, made sure everything was looking okay, I went ahead and applied some glue, secured it with some screws from the back side, and now I can go ahead and install the top of the cabinet. For this, I'm not going to use any dominoes. I'm just going to put some glue on it, tack it in place with my brad nailer, and then I'll go back and install some screws because it's all going to be covered by the crown molding anyway. So now I've got the upper cabinet all glued up and assembled. I can set it aside and start working on the lower cabinet. I've gone ahead and I've laid out where the center panel is going to go. I've labeled front, back, bottom, sides, and I've got all my mortises marked. So now it's just a matter of going through, making the mortises, and then we can start assembling it. The first thing I'm going to do is the center panel. I'm going ahead and clamped it to the bottom of the base cabinet. I've laid out the position, and and I've clamped it right on the back line. So now all I have to do is I can mortise straight down into my bottom panel. I can mortise into the center panel at the same time, and then when I stand it up, it'll fall directly on those two lines that I've laid out. So with the center mortises done on both the bottom panel and the center panel, you can go ahead and do the end mortises. With all the mortises in the base cabinet, I can go ahead and do a test fit. So with the base cabinet all dry fit, I can take it apart, glue it up, put it in some clamps, then it and the upper cabinet will all be finished. I can move on to the face frames. To continue the build, click here or check this out. And don't forget to subscribe.